More money for Guam schools, that's the bottom line for the island in a major education bill. The U.S. House was moving to passage. The Senate's expected to pass next week. PNC's Washington correspondent Matt Kay reports.
The Every Child Succeeds Act that reforms the 2001 No Child Left Behind law would boost territory funding from about 0.3% of all Title I funding to 0.4%, or about one-third, a hefty increase for Guam public schools. Bureau of Indian Education schools would be separated out from the Elementary and Secondary Education Act formula and receive their own separate allocation. The new formula came after a year-long effort led by CNMI Congressman Greg Khalili Sablan on the Education Committee.
Funding for elementary and secondary education nationwide is $10,667 per student. In my district, we can provide $6,246. And that is not for lack of local commitment.
Sablan says with household incomes in the Marianas less than half the national median, federal support is more than half of per-pupil spending. The islands and BIE schools together now receive just 1% of total national funding under Title I, and that leaves the Guam Department of Education with just $15 million under the program. Growth in that figure hinges on an overall fiscal 2017 state hike in appropriations when the new bill starts and the local proportion of low-income students. But funding is expected to increase, and a 30% or so increase could mean millions more in federal aid for Guam's public schools. The Every Child Succeeds Act, which has broad bipartisan support, would also make the islands eligible to compete for preschool development grants and innovation grants to improve student achievement. The islands were not included when the programs were created in the 2009 Recovery Act. On Capitol Hill, Matt Kay for PNC News.